Welcome back to another video, guys. Today we're back on the Civic once again. For those of you that are new to the channel, this is my 1997 Honda Civic DX D16 Y7 with a Y8 intake manifold that we slapped a Max Speeding Rods turbo on. Now, the theme of this build is very budget friendly, and so much budget friendly that we are not tuning it, which I know there are ways to tune these cars on a budget. However, we are not electronically tuning it. We are manually tuning it. So we're leaving the stock ECU in there. We're not touching it. We don't have to take it to a dyno. We don't have to data log and send our numbers off to a tuner online. None of that. We're not sourcing a P28 ECU, this or that. What we're doing is, like I said, manually tuning it. And what that means is we are controlling fuel with an FMU. That is a 12-to-1 FMU, very, very rich. Might be too rich, I don't know yet. We have D16 Y8 injectors in there, which I believe are 240 or 260 cc versus the Y7s, which are, I think, like 180 or something like that. We have a Walbro 255 fuel pump in there, and we have an adjustable fuel pressure regulator. Today, what we are going to be doing is we're going to be installing the missing link hack to make this thing hopefully run even better. So what that is there used to be a company, I don't think they exist anymore, or they don't sell this product anymore, that sold an item called the missing link. And basically what it did is you took it was like a part, like a one-way check valve that you installed in between your intake manifold and your map sensor. So since they don't sell that anymore, there's another way you can do this, and that is what we're going to be doing today. So basically, the whole reason of this is if you're doing this and you're not tuning your car, then that means you're not telling your map sensor that the car is going to have boost. So you need to trick the car into thinking it does not have boost. This will take care of a check engine light, which we already had one when we bought the car, and I don't know why. I never got it red. I don't really care. So us, it don't matter. But gets rid of your check engine light and also prevents your car from going into limp mode. So basically what it is we are going to remove our map sensor. We're still going to be using the map sensor, but we're going to take it off from where it's at. We're going to block off right there where it sits, and we're going to take a vacuum source from the intake manifold. I don't want to tee it into another source. I want it to have its own source. That way it has the most accurate reading possible. But we're going to, I think I'm going to use this port, which is large, so I'm going to reduce it. But we're going to come out of here. We're going to have 4 one-way check valves rigged into some vacuum line and then running into the map sensor. So basically, what it will do is when the car is pulling vacuum, those check valves will be closed and your map sensor will be seeing vacuum like normal. When the car is under boost, it'll be pushing towards the map sensor, shooting all of the boost hopefully out of the check valves, hopefully bleeding it off of the check valves before your map sensor sees boost. Now I'm sure it'll probably see a little bit of pressure, but hopefully it bleeds off. Now, what a lot of people use when they do this is just the one-way aquarium filters. I wanted to use something a little more heavy duty, and so I got on to Evil Energy's website and purchased these one-way check valves. I'm not 100% sure how well these will work yet. because of the like spring pressure, but I can blow through one end and not suck through the other. So that tells me that it should be able to bleed off pretty easily. I don't think we will have any issue with these not working. Any issue with these working. We want it to work. We don't want it to not work. So yeah, that's what we're gonna be doing today. Now, I feel like my car runs fine. Like I said, it does have the check engine light, but it had that before we installed the turbos. What people say is your car will see a lot of boost. It'll flood fuel to the car because it's trying to compensate for it. And by doing that, it could put the car in limp mode because it's like, what's going on? Something's wrong. My car has been running what I think is fine. So we're gonna test this. We're gonna see if it changes how the car feels when it's running. I don't know, maybe there's stuff that, like, I know the car kind of bogs a little bit, but not in full boost. And if I'm not in full boost, the map sensor shouldn't be seeing much boost at all. So like when I go to take off, the car bogs a little bit, which we did fix that problem when we installed the injectors. So I think that might be a separate issue. However, the car is running extremely rich right now, so we're working on ways to figure that out. I'm starting to think I might need a smaller, like a 10-to-1 ratio FMU, but that's a whole nother tangent. So anyway, we're gonna install this missing link and we're going to see if maybe it helps with the way the car is acting as far as air fuel ratio, running, but I don't have high expectations for this because it seems to me like it's running fine already. Now, everybody you talk to about boosting your car without a tune, they say it needs this. So, and I agree. I mean, your map sensor is not supposed to see boost. So maybe it'll lean the car out a little bit to where we want it. All right, I'm done talking. I know you guys want to see the actual video, so let's get into building this missing link. Okay guys, so like I said, I got 4 of these little Evil Energy one-way valves. I'll link these in the description below. And also, if you use code BB10 on their website, you'll get 10% off and you'll be supporting me a little bit. So, from everything I've seen, people use 4 of these just to give it enough to really try to bleed off all of the boost. You want your air is gonna flow with the direction of the arrow. So that is what you're gonna want. Now, you're gonna want some vacuum line, and in place of hose clamps, I am gonna use some zip ties, some small zip ties. Now, you're also gonna need some vacuum tees, which I just got on Amazon and bought this entire kit. I'll link this below in case any of you want it. And we're gonna need 4 tees. And that's how it's gonna go. I also think I'm gonna need that reducer. I wanna make this as short as possible. I had the thought of running it into a nice spot into my engine bay, but I just want it to be as short as possible so our map sensor gets the most accurate reading. So let's see here, if we go that into that, I'm just gonna cut this somewhere right here. right, guys, here we are. You see we've got 4 of our one-way valves. This side's going to go to the intake manifold. This side's going to go to the map sensor. I'm pretty sure I got 5/32 size barbs on this. I think it should be 1 size bigger, maybe 1/4. So we put 2 zip ties on there to really try to secure it. So let's go ahead and take the map sensor off of the car. Your map sensor is right here on your throttle body. Go ahead and undo it. So I got this little block off plate made just out of aluminum to go where the map sensor is, because we're not using this vacuum source anymore, so we need to block that off. So let's go ahead and install that. I did go ahead and put a new O-ring here just to really ensure that it seals good. Probably not super necessary. You could probably get away with the one in there as long as you feel like this seals good. All right, so there's our block off plate. Now, if we look here, here's your map sensor. Here's the little barb on the bottom. We're gonna take our missing link and put it just like that. I'm gonna zip tie it here just to make sure it holds good, but that's it. I got my little adapter from large to small barb here. Now we just got to figure out a nice place to kind of hide this. So I'm going to kind of just lay it on top of the intake manifold. It is kind of an awkward setup. All right, I think we're good. We're just going to leave it right there, I guess. I've got the plug moved down under here. I rerouted it. So there we go. Now I'm just going to throw a zip tie on that and we'll see how she does. So you can see right out of that top port, and then right out there, there's my one-way valves, and I've got it plugged in right there. So it's hidden a little bit. Let's go ahead and get in the car and take her for a drive. So far everything seems the same, which it should. So I think with a lot of these mods that I do, there's a big placebo effect where I feel like stuff just feels smoother. So with that being said, going into the full pool, it feels smoother. I don't know if it actually is. It almost doesn't seem as choppy. But like I said, I was not having an issue with this thing wanting to go into limp mode previously. So I did not have super high hopes that we would notice anything different. But let's just drive it for a little bit. Give you guys some audio clips. Wideband seems to be pretty normal. I mean, not different. It's not normal, it's rich, but you know. You know, this thing has come a long way since where we first started. We've done a lot. It don't look like we've done a lot just because the exterior hasn't changed. Well, actually it has. Really the only thing exterior that we have done to this thing is put a new front end on it. We have so this is a 97. We have a 99 2000 whole front end on it. So that's bumper, hood, fenders, everything. Headlights, grill. So we did give it that modern front look, modern look, and I am happy with that. It looks sweet in my opinion compared to what it was, you know. Here soon we will be painting it, but not yet. I haven't really decided what color I'm gonna paint it yet. I'm leaning towards white just because that is the cheapest and easiest color. And this thing was originally white. So the door frames, the hood, the engine bay, well, not the hood anymore, but the engine bay, it's all white. So if we paint it white, it'll be back to this car's OEM color, and I think it'll look pretty clean. So anyway, making the thing look good is on the list for sure, but not yet. Another thing I really want to do is put a new headliner on. Not a new headliner, put a headliner on. I don't know if you guys can see the roof right now, but there is no headliner. So that would be super nice to get on. Seems to be running good. I don't really notice any difference. I don't know why my car was not going into limp mode like others were, but maybe when we turn the boost up, we will not have done this for no reason, you know. Which I don't think we did it for no reason. To be honest with you, I'm not 100% convinced that this map sensor even works. I need to read the codes on this check engine light just to see what it is. thing does pull hard. Now that we're getting the fueling dialed in, it's running good. It's I mean, it's 100% faster than stock. Some of you guys have asked me if it's faster, if it's like noticeably faster than stock. 100%. I've been asked what the horsepower is. I have no idea. I've been asked what my butt dyno tells me. I have no idea. You know, guys, these cars are all so different. Like 400 horsepower in a car like this might feel like 700 horsepower in a Mustang, you know? So, I don't know. If I had to guess, I would say this thing is around 250 to 300. Probably closer to 250. I don't even know what these things are stock, but it's not much horsepower, but it's fun. Like, you feel it. You feel every bit of horsepower that's in it. The next thing we're going to be doing is I think we're going to do a manual boost controller. I got a cheap one from Amazon. I'll tell you what, I am happy with the wideband at a full pull. It's very, very rich, like right now, but when we're laying into it, it's about perfect in my eyes. I mean, it's right around 10, and then as you get into the higher RPMs, that FMU's working a little harder to keep up. It floats up to like 12. So it's I'm happy with it. Now, I don't know if there's a way we can control it, the leanness, because, you know, like right now it's extremely, extremely lean, just cruising. But when we do a pull, it's about perfect, you know? So I don't really know how we're gonna get around it, if we can. My fuel pressure is already pretty low. We might be able to go back to smaller injectors, but it's not really good for it. And either way, anything we do, I think, is gonna get leaner in the top end because we don't have a fuel map to work with. So we can't say, all right, we need more fuel here and less fuel here type deal, you know? So maybe there is a reason people electronically tune these. Obviously. That was a joke for any of you that don't know. Now, another thing I could probably use is a blow-off valve. Like I said, this one is a budget build, so I opted out of getting a blow-off valve in the beginning because, you know, we're not running much boost. Didn't feel like we needed one. However, it's a cheap turbo. We're approaching 10 pounds of boost, and let's do a pull here. So as you could probably hear, we break the tires loose in first gear. And in a Y7 or Y8 is not going to do that. Anyway, you guys can hear how much that turbo is surging. Sounds cool, not good on the turbo. We've got a cheap turbo. And with this cheap log top mount top mount turbo manifold, you cannot get a direct straight 90-degree drain out of the bottom of the turbo. So ours is at a 45, which is not optimal flow for the turbo. So not optimal oil flowing through the turbo is just another negative against the build, you know. So we might need to think about adding a blow-off valve just for the sake of longevity, which you could argue that the point of this build is not longevity. It kind of is, because I want to see how easily we can boost a car, a Honda, and how cheaply. And if we did it and it just blew up, then I guess technically we failed. All right, guys, so there is your missing link install. Hopefully I was able to help some of you guys. Hopefully I was able to open some of your guys' eyes on not being discouraged to work on your own car to this extent. One of the main reasons I wanted to do this is because, you know, you think about turboing a car, and if you're not like deep into the race car scene or building car scene, you don't have any relationships with people, you're like, man, I'd love to turbo my car, but it's not doable. You know, you got to find a dyno, you got to find a tuner, you got to pay for all that, and it's not cheap, and it's discouraging, whether it should be or not. I know that some of you professional mechanics are like, what are you talking about, dude? It's no problem. But depending on what stage you're at, that is intimidating, and it will deter you from doing something like this. So I'm kind of trying to show some of you guys that this is a feasible thing for you to do. You know, if I can do this, you guys can do it. If you work on your cars, like if you can change your oil, you know, you can learn how to do this. It's not hard. And you can cheat by using my videos. I mean, I have shown every single step of the way from the time we got this car to everything we've done on it. So anyway, I hope I was able to help some of you guys. That is going to be it for this video. Stay tuned for more Civic content, and I will catch you guys in the next one.